Welcome to Wonderspace. It's great to have you on board. My name is Steve Cole, and over the past 63 episodes, I have been asking the same 6 questions to amazing people from around the world. The questions orbit around wonder and stories of hopefulness, and the setting for each journey is this shared window on the space station, from where we see everything from a different perspective. Before we introduce our guest this week, our friends at asknature.org are going to help us to re-wonder. Our orbit this week will take us across Canada, and to experience these views with us in this ultimate window seat, we welcome Anna Fielding. Anna is a specialist in economic systems change and leadership for social and environmental justice. Alongside coaching and playing a non-exec role with multiple organisations, Anna is also a trainee psychotherapist, believing that we can only transform the world to the extent that we are willing to work on ourselves. Anna was nominated by our 31st guest on Wonderspace, Daniela Barone Soares, who is the CEO of Snowball.
I nominated Anna because of her passion and energy around the need for systemic change, for a fairer world, something we're also committed to doing at Snowball. Like Anna, I am a great believer that inner change and outer change go hand in hand. When we change, the world changes.
The full-length interview can be heard on the Wonderspace podcast, which can be found on our website and on most podcast platforms. For this video orbit, Anna answers 3 of our 6 questions. And I start by asking, if we could do a fly past on any part of the world that is significant to you, which place, city or country would it be and why?
If we could go anywhere, I would take us past a big rock in Yorkshire, which is at the edge of Rombold's Moor. That's the moor that covers the sort of the Aire Valley and the Wharfe Valley, so 2 rivers running through Yorkshire. And it's just north of Leeds and Bradford. And this rock is called the Nab, and it kind of juts out at the end, and it overlooks a town called Silsden. It's a town that I lived in for 5 years, and lots of things happened during that 5 years, lots of big life events, got married, left being married, lots of changes in terms of my personal life, but also it's where I first discovered what it was like to work on changing the economy. I worked at an organisation in Silsden called Ecology Building Society, and that for me was just, it was life-changing in terms of the whole world that I came across there. So for me, that just sitting on that rock, looking over Silsden, that's a really special place for me. So I think I divide it into 3 parts. There's kind of working on big global issues, there's then working on big global systems, and then there's working on ourselves, on inner work. So I started my career 15, 20 years ago now. I'm getting on a bit. I started it working in campaigning on climate change, inequality, education, and so on, and worked in that area and in campaigning on health for a number of years, and loved it and learned a lot about kind of how do you change the world. But it wasn't my thing. It was like there was something missing for me. And then when I found myself Silsden. And I found myself working at Ecology Building Society. I realised what it was, and it was that underpinning all of the issues that I'd worked on was the economic system. There was the financial system, the way in which the rules of our economy and the rules of our money worked were the things that were holding these problems in place. And so that really had me hooked, and especially not just because it was the cause of the problems, but also because it was a solution. Like, they were human systems. We built those systems and we can change them. And I had just never considered that we could change the rules like that. So that was mind-blowing for me. And it led me to work in this area I've been in it now for the past 10 years. I did a number of years at Ecology where I worked on ethics, external affairs and international work. And then I led a charity called the Finance Innovation Lab. And that is a charity that exists to build a financial system that serves people and planet. Really strong emphasis on how do we develop leaders and communities of change makers who have the skills and the belief and the support to shift the financial system to one that's radically better than the one we have now. And I absolutely loved doing that. And I found that the thing I loved most was actually the kind of the personal development side of it. How do we develop the leadership skills, the capabilities, the resilience, the insights, the nerve actually sometimes to try and change the system. And that's taken me to my new chapter, which is training as a psychotherapist. So I'm very, very interested in the human process of change and how we change and heal, but also how we then take that inner work and use it to change the world. And alongside that, I now chair an organisation called Economic Change Unit. And Economic Change Unit exists to coordinate and to amplify the work of organisations that are trying to build a better economy, one that is sustainable, fair, resilient. And I've been doing that for a couple of years now. And yeah, it's a real privilege to do that kind of work. It's exciting, it's full of ideas and full of hope, but it's also just full of human work, which I love. So I'm going to geek out here a little bit. This is a finance story. So my main source of hope for many years has been the Global Alliance for Banking on Values. It's a network of values-based banks across the world. I think there's about 66 of them now, and they've got about 60 million customers, and they all put serving society and the environment as their objective. So yes, they do make a profit, but that's not the point. That's part of their kind of financial hygiene, if you like. The aim is to support the people, the projects that are making the world a better place. So it could be anything from a cultural institution to ecological housing to a charity, to a community business. The stuff they're funding is the future that we want. And the fact that they're doing this in one of the hardest systems to change, like try doing anything different in finance and there's so many obstacles to you. And yet we've got this network of amazing organizations who are doing it, and they've been doing it for decades. And every aspect of their work is kind of infused with purpose. It's amazing. You know, I saw it at Ecology in the UK. I see it at Triodos, which is across Europe. Van City in Canada, which is an amazing credit union. Like, they just center purpose and they do it in a way that's so powerful. I think they are the future of the financial system. And I also think they are the tool that we need if we're going to have a livable future. Full stop. So for me, they're amazing. I'm full of awe and hope for them.
To find out more about the work of Anna, go to the Economic Change Unit at econchange.org. In her story of hopefulness, Anna spoke about the Global Alliance for Banking, and you can find out more at gabv.org. To engage with the previous 63 Wonderspace episodes, go to our website ourwonder.space. I want to thank Anna for joining us on Wonderspace, and I hope you can join us next week for more wonders and stories of hopefulness.